All right, I'm thinking this ordeal with the FBI fingerprint process is finally over. I am just leaving the post office, which is here at the north side of Rockefeller Center in New York City, where I had to get my fingerprints done for the third time. But finally, I think with the correct process, going directly to the FBI and then using the US Postal Service to get that certification sent to Morocco. Hi, my name is Kalima Fergus Ayele, and I am an international school leader, CEO, and founder of Round Trip to Get Home. If you have been following my story and my journey, you know that I am currently in the process of moving from New York to Morocco, and there I will be working as a vice principal in a high school, and I am really just going through the process of getting there. And I think it's so interesting when I see so many people just showing where they are, like on the other side of the process, and I'm like, no, 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 join me in the trenches. So one of the things that's been very frustrating is trying to figure out how to do the identification process. And as many of you know, sometimes when you are looking for things online, there's a lot of third-party companies that really do make the process easier. But in this case, ended up not being the right path to take. And it wasn't really easy to figure out how to get this done. So just a heads up, if you are moving to a country where they are requiring a hard copy of your FBI identification certificate, then you will need to actually contact the FBI directly. And I ended up having to call them twice. They were very nice. Customer service was great, but it did take a while. I think each call I was on hold for maybe about 30 minutes with that loud music playing. But honestly, they were super helpful. The first person I spoke to really just talked me through the process. She actually had to tell me how to find out which post office to go to. This is the one in Midtown Manhattan, but she basically told me to make sure that I called to ensure that the machine, the fingerprinting machine, is working. And then I had to call them, and it turns out their hours for doing the fingerprinting is not the same as the hours for the post office. So again, very important that I made that customer service call and then called the post office to confirm what their operating procedure was for getting the fingerprinting done. Once I did that, she gave me an email with a website to go to start the application process. That meant that the FBI sent me a separate link and a PIN to set up my account. Once I filled that out, I was then needing to get back into touch with customer service again, because what I found was that in order to have a hard copy mailed internationally, I first had to apply with my US address, submit everything, pay the $18, and then go back and change my application to the foreign mailing address. I wouldn't have figured that out on my own. And so I'm really grateful that they were so helpful. And now when I went to the post office, as instructed, they said I had to be there before 3 p.m. That was pretty straightforward, and that's where I paid the $50. So the total charge for the whole process was $68. The third-party service was $48. So if you don't need a hard copy, if an electronic copy is sufficient, then you might as well just do the third-party service. Super easy. If you're in New York City, the location for the place that I used, Identico, was on West 36th Street. So 36th Street between 7th and 8th Avenues. Again, easy to find. For the FBI direct, the post office is on 51st Street. Right north of Rockefeller Center. So that's where I am now. If you notice all the flags behind me. Feel like a bit of relief. The weight lifted off my shoulders. Again, this is something that I've been trying to do for about 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, just because I didn't know what I was doing. But it just makes me think about how many things that we have to navigate when we want to do something. And maybe we know someone who's done something similar, but not the exact same thing. And so we're just kind of stumbling our way through it. And we just, help each other out, give each other tips, whatever tips and tools and tricks we can along the way. But as you know, too, the world is moving fast and life is changing. And so sometimes the advice that might have worked 5 years ago is no longer valid, no longer relevant. And so just continuing to stay flexible and open and adaptable and curious and all of those things so that we can get through this together. All right, we got this. Thank y'all for paying attention. If you have any questions, I appreciate you all coming along with me on this journey. Please feel free to drop comments and questions in the chat. I did do a Q&A video, and I'm happy to do another one. It's getting pretty close to the move. Probably do a couple more videos if I have the time, energy, capacity on this side. Then I'll see you on the other side of the Atlantic. All right, take care. Bye.